Celts. Around 700 BC, the Celts began to arrive from northwest Germany and gradually settled in the country between 500 and 100 BC. Today, their language remains in Welsh in Wales and Gaelic in Scotland and Ireland. The Celts were tall and muscular, with fair skin, blue eyes and blonde hair. They were farmers, hunters, fishermen and metal workers. They introduced the iron plug, which made the cultivation of the soil easier. In the British countryside, it is still possible to see the long narrow pattern of Celtic field. The Celts built massive hill forts on top of hills, surrounded by ditches, sometimes filled with water. They were used as tribal centers and refugees in time of danger. Women were almost equal to men. They could choose the man they wanted to marry and retain their own property. They could also lead other warriors in war. Boadicea, for example, was a warrior queen of one of the Celtic tribes who fought against the Romans. The Druids were the Celts' priests. They were important not only in religion but also in justice, education and medicine. They held their ceremonies in the heart of the forest and not in temples. The Celts worshipped natural elements such as the sun, the moon, trees and rivers. They considered water a holy element since it generated life and was eventually the means of entering the world beyond death. They believed in immortality and in transmigration of the soul from one person to another. For them, life after death was still spent on the earth in caves, hills or lakes, and this belief was another reason for their respect for nature and its spiritual or magical dimension. But now let's speak about the Romans. Julius Caesar led the Roman invasion of Britain in 55 BC, but the country was not actually conquered until 43 AD under Emperor Claudius. For about 15 generations, Britain was part of the Roman Empire. The Romans were attracted by the rich agriculture of the south, tin and lead in the west, the availability of slaves and Britain's strategic importance as an offshore base. The Romans, however, did not control the whole island. In 122 AD, Emperor Hadrian ordered a wall to be built to mark the border between the conquered Britons and the unconquered Scots and Picts in the north. This was one of the greatest engineering projects of the ancient world. The Romans built over 9,000 kilometers of paved roads in Britain, which remained in use for centuries. These roads were not always straight, but they were amazingly well built and made troop movement, and later the movement of commercial goods, much easier. They also connected the town that developed as military, administrative and trading centers. Many of these towns were originally army camps, and the Latin name castra has remained in many modern towns, names ending in Castor, Chester or Cester, such as Lancaster, Manchester and Gloucester. The most important town was Londinium, built around the lowest bridgeable point on the Thames. The Romans also brought their culture, the Latin language and Christianity to Britain. Roman control of Britain came to an end in 409 AD, as soldiers were withdrawn to defend Rome against the barbarian raiders. The Romanized Celts were left alone to fight against the Saxon invaders from the North Sea region of Europe.